Okay, so lots of people have been asking me about how to get your horse really soft and supple. If you've ever watched Clinton Anderson riding, Mindy and Jag and some of his other horses, they look like they don't have a bone in their body. They're just so soft, and it just seems like they're sort of dripping into the ground. And a lot of that has to do with the head back to the shoulder. So the back end of the horse is like the engine, and it propels the horse and gives the horse impulsion. The front end provides direction and speed, but it also provides the softness in a horse. And you know, when you get an off-the-track thoroughbred, all they really know how to do is run, just to start and go straight. They don't know how to stop, they don't know how to turn, and a lot of that is because they're not flexible. And so the only way you're ever going to get that really beautiful perpendicular face to the ground that everybody loves, which is vertical flexion, is, and that's vertical flexion right there. The only way you're going to get that is with lateral flexion first. That is the side-to-side flexion of the neck, the head, and the poll. So we teach that in Clinton's method on the ground first. In case you don't understand his method, every groundwork exercise that you do on the ground before you ever get in the saddle has a corresponding exercise under saddle. So flexing is no different. And flexing is about the 6th or 7th exercise in groundwork. And you've done yielding the hindquarters, and you've done some desensitizing and lunging for respect. And then we teach the horse to flex its neck. And in the beginning, now this is a good problem to have right here. Sunny's so light and soft and supple that you just come to this position and she'll start flexing. But the way you do it under saddle is you reach down on the rein and you bring it straight up to your knee and then up the side seam of your jeans to your hip bone. Not back here, not across your chest, and not to your belly button. You're going to bring it to your hip bone. So the basic place, and let me yield her hindquarters. The basic place that your hip bone is going to be located when you're in the saddle is right above the cantle on the saddle. So we're just going to double up the rope like this, and we're going to reach down to about where we would if we were reining, and I'm going to, with my thumb and forefinger, ask her to flex. Now this is what a horse will do when you're first teaching them, okay? They're going to move and you have to stay with them. Keep your hand up, okay? And then when they stop, you're going to drop that rope like it's burning your fingers. There are 3 things about pressure that you need to know, and there's feel, timing, and experience. Feel is how much pressure to put on the horse, because as we know, horses don't learn from pressure, they learn from the release of the pressure. So the better you get at releasing your pressure, the quicker your horse is going to learn. So how much pressure to put on? You start with the slightest try, and then you release as soon as you get the job done. So there she is. I'm reaching down, just my thumb and my forefinger, not my whole fist, okay? Okay, I'm going to keep moving with her. And then she stopped, and she put her head right to her shoulder, okay? Now I've asked her to move like that by thumbing her on her hip, okay? Now, reach down, flex, reach down, reach down, reach down, reach down, flex. She touched her shoulder. beautiful. Just beautiful. Now when she will do this, and especially when she starts holding her head there, that's a really good problem to have. Now, everything you do on one side, you have to do on the other. I'll yield her to the camera. Over. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. This is basically where my hip is going to be in the saddle. I'm going to reach down, just my thumb and forefinger, and you might want to know why. Well, if you're using your fist on your ropes and your reins like this, it sends a signal to your brain to be hard and to be tough and to pull hard. But if you are, yield her 4/4 over, good girl. If you use just your fingertips, it sends a signal to your brain to be really soft. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll yield her 4/4 for the camera. Okay. So you're just going to do this. And typically your horse is going to do what I ask her to do, which is to move, and they will spin around in circles. They'll haul you halfway across your arena, but this is what happens when they know how to do this. So when you're in the saddle, this is just what you want. You want your horse to just willingly turn around and touch either their own shoulder, your stirrup leathers, your boot, or even your leg is fine. And it's going to be a very soft and nice flex. Now, if you do literally scores of hours of this, both on the ground and in the saddle, what happens is you now have control over the head, the neck, and the pole of the horse. This part right here that you lower to halter your horse and bridle it, okay? And you're never going to get that really pretty vertical flexion vertical flexion like that, and have the head, the face perpendicular to the ground like you want when you're under saddle. Everybody calls that collection. You're not going to get that without the horse's ability to be soft in the neck. This is a really hard, tough muscle here. And until they will do this for you with the touch of your hand, she actually is so nice and soft, you can come around to her side and just pretend to reach down. Did you hear what I said, Sonny? Just pretend to reach down and she will flex. Okay? And that is what causes that beautiful softness in the front end of the horse. So we are going to turn off the GoPro for a minute, and we're going to get them saddled up, and we're going to do this actually under saddle. The most vulnerable you will ever be on a horse is when you are mounting and dismounting. And we saw at the last Road to the Horse held in Kentucky that my husband Glenn happened to be in Kentucky, and he got to attend that event. And we watched 4 really super horsemen, and only one flexed their horse mounting and dismounting. And the others were not flexing when they got on, and as a consequence, 2 of the other 3 clinicians had their horses bolt on them when they were getting on and getting off. And so if anything should happen, a dog barks, a gun goes off, your horse spooks right at that moment, you need to have your horse's head tipped towards you and flexed, mounting and dismounting. And so we'll do that next.
GoPro turn off. GoPro turn off. GoPro turn off.